Hey everybody, I'm KK.
I'm Kristen.
Together we are
KK Crochet.
And this is a catch-all as far as BMO. So because if you notice, we took some time off and did not post from the 26th through whatever today is, I don't know, 29th, no, 30th. 26th through the 30th. So we're posting today on the 30th. So 26th through the 29th, I actually had intended not to post until after the first of the year. But there are things that we have to post so that you know what's going on. And those few days gave us enough time to revitalize a little bit. And the videos we've done today will give us a boost to get through. And then, yeah, I just thought of some other things we need to do. So it'll give us a boost to get through, and we'll get you to the point where you're caught up with what's going on. So this is a BMO update. We're going to combine a finishing up the year and a starting the new year. So it's all in one big thing. And then we may do another one later on when we've had a break. And that's what this video is to say. This video is to say thank you for all that you've done and for all the help that you've given us for BMO. And take a big deep breath and let the pressure roll off for a little bit, because the deadline is not till November 24th of 2025, and there's plenty of time to make hats. Now, here's what happened with the parade. The last parade was canceled, or not canceled, it was postponed because we had snow and we had cold temperatures, which obviously people are not going to come out in that. It's just not going to happen. But it was postponed from a Saturday to a Monday, and obviously you have people who work and who cannot attend, and it was cold. So we did have hats left over. We had, I think, we can restructure we had 16, it's on the phone, 1,600 and total, what was it, 16, I gotta go back, sorry, got a lot of stuff on this phone, 1,646. We did not have enough for the second parade. We said that. We could have used probably 250 more. We had more than enough for the third parade. I think we could restructure the numbers enough so that we could cover what we needed for that for the second parade, and we could do a few of the other things that we wanted to do that we couldn't do. Because we had enough left over, we took on some new, I said we weren't going to, but when hats are left over, I take that as God has a purpose and a plan for those, and it was not where I thought it was supposed to be. And who am I to argue? I'm not going to argue with God. So since we did not have as many at the parade, we took some through town. We gave them to local workers. We always do that because we always have enough to do that. That's just a handful. We go to some of the local stores. They were super excited. We let them pick, which, others don't get to pick. Because we put some in one of those big shopping bags and let them pick. And so then I came home and I thought, okay, now what to do with the rest of these? So here's what we did. I have a heart for seniors as well as children. Seniors as in our elderly community. So I called the senior center. I spoke with them today, and I spoke with them several days ago, but I spoke to the coordinator I needed to speak to today, and she said that they serve probably 20 people. I thought, that's nothing. We can definitely do that. I mean, for them it's a lot, but for us, 20 hats, that's doable. So I told her I would send 30 and told her about the program and what Bumblebees is. I kind of think I touched a nerve in a good way. I don't mean that in a bad way. I know we say they touched a nerve kind of makes a negative connotation. I don't mean that. How resonated with her. How about that? I think our reasoning resonated with her. I don't know her story. She didn't want to talk about it, and I'm good with that. It's fine. But she said, well, next month, January, is Kindness Awareness Month or something like that. She said, can we give them out then? I said, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want to give it to them. I said, next year, we will try to get it to them in time for Christmas. I had forgotten that they have people who do for their people for Christmas. And so I would like to be able to get that to them for Christmas to include in their Christmas. Maybe a scarf and a hat for those 20. So I'm sending them 20. I contacted, we have a building here, and I won't name the building because it is their private information, and it is a personal thing. You know, if I name the building, then, it could, you know, their safety. So we have a building here that's an apartment complex, and it is a high rise, and it houses both elderly and disabled people, and maybe a few others that fall under the guidelines because of certain reasons, like disabilities. I don't know. So I asked that lady, we have gone there before to Carol for Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach, and I've been there throughout all my life for many things. Church gatherings, we would go on Sundays, and the preacher would preach a sermon to them on Sundays after regular church service. He would do it there like once a month. And it's just, they have a community built room, and they have lots of different gatherings there. Yard sales, all kinds of things. And I've been there several times. And I have had, in the past, family that lived there. So I messaged the lady that's in charge, and I asked her would she be open to receiving hats for them. Most of these people, I don't know exact statistics, but I believe that many of them don't have a vehicle. The way it's situated, they can walk to the bank and to the store. That's the way that it was built. So she said yes, that she would be open to hats for them, and that she would put them in her office so that they could each get one, and she could make sure that they each got one. And so I asked her how many, and she said, well, there are 100 people in the building, but I don't think that they'll all take one. And I said, well, how about I bring you that many, because we can do that. And she said that that was fine. And so I feel very thankful that we are allowed to reach a different population, because this is not a population that will go to parades. This is not a population that you will see out very often, like we go around, drive around, and give out hats. This is a population that maybe comes out on the first of the month to do their business and goes out when they are in need, but they also have people that come in to help in their homes. It's not an assisted living, but they do have people from the senior center that we're giving hats to. They have workers there that go in and visit with them. Now, the senior center, the seniors come to visit them at the center to get food. They cook meals for them daily. They play games with them. They do all the things that, that someone who came to your house would do, or that the nursing homes would do, but it's for people who can drive back and forth. But then they have a Meals on Wheels type program that goes to people's houses too, I think. So this way we're covering both ends of that. Hold on. Okay. So, sorry, I had to sneeze. So those two entities will be covered. I did find out one of the ones that we used to help, well, we did this year, the motorcycle group that we helped, I did find out that how many children they served this year, and they served 242 kids in 3 counties. We gave them, I think, 220 hats. So next year, I would like to make sure that we cover that. By the time this parade was over, I thought we would be able to go back and donate, but my husband said no, they would have already given out their stuff by then, because they give it to them way, before Christmas. So next year, I planned for us to be able to step up and do 250 for them, so that we make sure that they're covered and they don't have to purchase those extra hats, because that's what they will do if they don't have enough. He said last year that they didn't have enough and they purchased the extra. So this year, I thought by 220 we were close, but we were a little bit off. So the remaining things, anything that's left, we did donate to a Head Start, and so there were about 45 hats that went there for them to. It won't cover all their kids, but they were smaller hats that I knew would go to good use there, because I worked there before, and I know that when kids don't have a hat, they would go buy them. So this way, they don't have to be purchased, and they can be sent home, or they can be kept there for kids who maybe forget their hats at home and then they're going outside and it's cold. So, yeah, anything that's left will go to the elementary schools in our area, because we always give to them. And so that's always the plan. We get through the last parade, and what's left usually gets distributed to the schools in our area. So Head Start and the other elementary schools will get what's left. We did take some to a daycare. There was some that went to Reach, which is a local outreach for families that it's kind of like the Birth to 3 program. It's kind of like that age group, but they do span other age groups as well, because they deal with families as a whole. They provide a Thanksgiving meal for families to come pick up pre-made. They provide a clothes closet, a baby closet that has they do a baby shower for mothers in the area that maybe wouldn't normally have that, and they have them come in and they do like games and stuff with them so they can win prizes for their baby. I think they do that once a month or once every 3 months, something like that. So this year it has definitely been spread out farther, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the ability to help those that maybe we hadn't thought of. I thought about the seniors after the fact, after we kind of made our goal this year, and I thought, well, I don't know. We'll see if we have enough. And thankfully we did. So I say all that to say these things. We're 11 minutes in. I still haven't gotten to that was the recap. All the hats are being used that were given last year. 1,646, I think I said. So all of those are finding homes. We always, in the end up with extra that we find homes for. But I have places I know that will use those. The schools often donate to Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach for our nursing home outreach. So we in turn donate hats back to them for their community and schools, where kids are not asked any questions. If they need a hat, they get a hat. They don't have to pay anything. So I like that. And so all of them are being used. We still have one in Bluefield that we have to take and make the donation to the Union Mission. And I would like to do that before we get super cold, so they have those for people. And that's a big trash bag full. Those were designated before the parades. They were put to the side because we knew that we did that. We always do that. So, Loaves and Fishes, which was the outreach we did first. It's one of the first ones we started with. They put them with their Christmas boxes of food. And there were some hygiene items that were donated by another group that does that kind of thing here in the community. So they put the hats with that and the food, and those were donated out. The motorcycle group, Reach, a daycare, the 3 parades, the senior center, the high rise, the Union Mission. Is that everybody?
The schools.
That's 10. And did I not mention the schools?
Mm-hmm,
and there'll be 2 schools. So, and did I mention Head Start?
Yes, you did.
So 12. 12 different places that have been reached because of your kindness and generosity. And we thank you so very much.
It would not be possible without y'all.
Yeah, it wouldn't. And sometimes I think about, plus, all the people from the parades. And sometimes I think about duplicates. I'm sure there is some duplication in there somewhere. Somebody's bound to be in more than one of those programs. You could easily have a grandparent who's taking care of a child that's in Head Start, and but the way I look at that is they were given to the people who needed the most, and once they leave my hands, what is done with them after that is on that person. That's the way I look at everything I give. Once it leaves my hands, I did it with a good heart. What they do with it is on them. I will tell you this. We have one thing that happened. I think I may have told you. In one of the parades, my youngest was tossing out hats. Of course, we're in the car. We're all tossing them out. And he began to notice there was this guy walking down the sidewalk. Every time we'd move, he'd move. And he was walking with the car. And he looked over and he had a hoodie on, and he had stuffed several hats in his hoodie. And so my son was like, I think he's taking all that we throw. He's running and getting them. So he switched, I think, maybe to the other side, throwing out, because they're on both sides of the road. And my son looked at him and let him know that he acknowledged what he was doing. And, maybe that person needed all those hats, and maybe not. Maybe they had evil intent, or maybe they were going to, I don't know. It doesn't matter. He got what he got, and hopefully it goes to good use. And if his intent was to take those and sell them or do whatever, you know what? That's on him, not me. And whatever it was, it was. I'm sure that he got enough that his family was, unless he was trying to do his whole family, everybody in his family plus extended. I don't know, and it really doesn't matter, because our heart is to help people. And so, but we wanted to make sure that other people were getting them too. So it's not that we didn't want him to have as many as he needed, because I've said before, if they need more than one, they can have more than one. That's fine. But it's one of the reasons why I don't set up places and say, grab a hat. Because anybody could come up and say, well, I need like 20. And how do you say no to that? You don't know that they don't need 20. Maybe they have lots of kids and extended family. So it's one of the reasons we do it the way we do. And that way these organizations that are in place, they know these people and they know how many are in their family, and they make sure they're covered. So that's what I have to say about that. I don't begrudge anybody whatever they need, they can have. Okay, so goals for BMO. First of all, Kristen has set a goal for us. We always combine our numbers. So Kristen has set a goal that she wants us to reach, and I have set a goal, and they are different. So we shall see what they turn out to be, but both of them are bigger than what we did this past year. So every year we are trying to increase what we make. So people have asked, when can we start to ship hats again? And I always set a date, and I always renege on it and say you can do it earlier. But I'm going to say, for everybody to have a break. It's okay to make them now. I'm making them now. But for shipping purposes, we have decided between us, and hopefully you all are okay with this, but because of storage and making sure things are processed, and Kristen starts clinicals in January, which means she's going to be in the classroom at least 2 days a week.
And then the other 3 days, I will be actually at college.
And she will be working 2 to 3 days a week, sometimes 4. So her schedule is amping up big time. And she is one of the ones, we all help, but she's one of the ones that helps with the processing of the hats. So I'm asking that we wait until April 1st. Kristen will be done with college classes probably May. Then she will have May, June, July, and part of August to help me as we process those. Once we get to August, we are so deep in it by then that we're good, and we're kind of in a routine. But we also, if we wait till April to start, then we have a chance to maneuver things around and make some different spacing arrangements. And so April 1st, we will start to accept donations again. I think that gives everybody a break. You can make them and throw them in a tote somewhere, and they don't take up a lot of space. And we are going to be doing a program called Stitch and Dish, where I show you some new stitches, not tutorials, but just me explaining the stitch and showing you what it looks like in a hat. And that way you can kind of see if that's something you'd like to try, or maybe it'll give you some color ideas or whatever. So we're going to be doing those long before April, but we're going to accept donations starting in April. One of the other things I'm thinking about, the past several years have bought loveys, they're not loveys. We have bought stuffed animals. The first year we bought elves from the Dollar Tree because I had donated money. And, it was money that was donated for BMO, and I was told to do with it what I wanted. So I bought the the stuffies from Dollar Tree, and we handed those out. And then this year we did have some that were handmade and that were donated by other people. And we didn't ask for that, but they donated, and they're beautiful, and we said okay. And also some loveys that went over top of some of them. This year we had 2 local people who donated money, and again said do whatever you want to with it. It was donated to BMO either for one was donated for both programs, the nursing home and the hat program. And the other one was just donated because they knew about our hat program, and she said just do, whatever. So by the time the money was donated, the nursing home program was over. We had bought everything we needed to buy. Everything had been delivered. We were good. So I asked them would they mind if we bought things for kids for the parades, and they said no. They didn't care. And this is someone who faithfully supports the program locally, monetarily. So they either monetarily or they donate items. So, and they've supported the nursing home outreach and the hat program. They've made hats and stuff to donate to. So anyway, where was I going? That money was used to buy little Rudolphs and snowmen that had little scarves and hats to throw out at the parade. We do have some left over. If I'd have known that, I would have thrown them out at other parades, but we split them between the 3 parades and we had some left over. So those are going to be put away. I do not keep hats from year to year if I can help it. I do kind of wish I did, for the purpose of handing out if there's a fire locally and somebody loses everything, or if there is a need somebody doesn't have, But I think I'm going to make that my goal, to boost up our BMO number, and if we need them, I'll pull from that, and it's fine. It can come from the ones I make. So I don't keep hats if I can avoid it, because I don't want to. I want them to go out and we get the new ones next year. We're still in the process of putting the ones out from 2024. They will be gone from here, hopefully within the next 2 weeks. By the time people get back from vacation, that I can some of them I can't deliver until the ones who run the program are back, so that they can take over. But hopefully within the next 2 weeks, those will be gone. So that's my goal. So, and it's 2 weeks from when I'm recording this, not 2 weeks from when you see this. I don't know when that's going to be. So, but I do like the idea of the Amies for the kids. Now, had we not had that monetary donation this year and last year, that never would have happened. We would not have been able to do that, because they're expensive. So this year, I said I wasn't even going to say this, but I'm going to try and see if I can make some of the no-sew Amies and stitch on the eyes. I guess normally, though, most that we see are older kids, and we could technically use safety eyes as long as we put a note in the bag that says not for children under 3 due to possible choking hazard of the eyes. I don't know. I'll think about it. I don't want to be responsible for anybody getting hurt. And, yeah, but I also don't care. I really don't like to stitch on eyes on those little ones, because they're such, I don't know. It's just in my brain that I need to figure out a way to do Amies for these kids. So, that being said, if you are someone that doesn't like to make hats, and you didn't want to donate because you don't like hats, but you want to donate and you make the smaller Amies, I'm talking, the ones we bought were like 4.5 inches tall. So, 6 inches and under, nothing huge. And you want to make something like that, then send me an email or something and let's talk and see if there's something that you have in mind that maybe I'd want to make. I don't really care that they're all uniform or anything like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, send me the patterns that you have. Maybe it's something I'd like to do. I would like to add to be able to give more to kids. Kids really enjoy those. They get so happy. The ones we bought, I think it was $200 for 132, and that was from Oriental Trading. And I think some of them were on sale. I caught them on sale. So yeah, it's okay to buy them. It's easy to buy them, but I would like to make a few too. And we did have some this year to hand out that were handmade. So. But that's where we stand with BMO. So we have a goal individually, together, but individually, she has a goal, I have a goal. They are different. We'll see what we come up with at the end of the year. And we, if you are going to help us and would like to make yourself a goal, if you want to tell us your goal, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. We have chosen not to tell our number, because I want to see, how it turns out. Kristen's number is different than mine. I will say, last year, I'm almost ashamed to say how many we made last year, because I feel like if we're asking for a bunch to be made, we should be making a bunch. But we ended up, if I counted right, we ended up making 69 this past year. And the year before, I think we made 48. So, and that was between us. So, it doesn't sound like a lot since it's our baby. So this year, it's my goal to make more. But, I'm not going to apologize, because you do what you can do, and little is much when God is in it, and it takes all of us to do it. And I think I figured out that the average person, when you figure out how many people donated and how many times they had donated, the average person made 24. Some of you made a whole lot more than 24. Some of you made less than 24. Some of you may have made exactly 24. And guess what? They all matter. And all together they made 1,646.
And every single hat was appreciated, and every shawl,
Unbelievably
every
so.
everything.
Everything was greatly appreciated. And we did get to help. One of the things I left out is we did get to help a local family in need who we were informed was not having the greatest Christmas. And the only thing we took them from BMO was hat and glove sets. And so that's what they got. And they were the character ones that we had gotten that were pre-bought from the store. And so all of those things worked together. And I had a toy here that I had bought for the granddaughter, and it was going to be much later that she'd be able to use it. So together we took care of that, and then some of our extended family and the BMO family took care of some other things for them. So those kinds of things pop up. And when they do, I like to be able to know that we can use BMO to help with that. So anyway, April 1st, and what's the one other thing we need to talk about? We need a goal. So the goal this year, 2020, well, depending on when you see this, the goal for 2024 was 1,500. You all blew it out of the water, 1,646. Every one will be accounted for and used. We were short on the second parade, but I think the ones that we had from the third parade would have made up for that. There may have been a couple of new ones, the senior centers and stuff that we took on, that extra 120 that wouldn't have been there had it not been for people not being out at the parade. So I don't know. You all set a goal. Let's talk about it amongst ourselves. Throw out some numbers down below, and I will make a poll on the community page, and then you all can choose a realistic goal and one that's not going to make anybody feel like they have to go, and overextend themselves. I don't want anybody to do what they cannot do. And if you can't help and you can't send because of postage or yarn or whatever, pray for us. Pray for the outreach, and that's enough. That'll be enough. And that's all we have for today. So don't forget to be kind, because
you don't know anybody else's journey.
And if you have questions, leave them down below. We'll try to answer them the best we can. And April 1st we'll start collecting again. But before then, stitch and dish. And that'll tell you some of the hats that I'm working on. Okay, bye.